Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In front of me, along with a mess, please excuse the garage, a lot going on. I've got the Husqvarna Norden 901 Expedition. This is a 2024 model, and if you've ever shopped for crash bars, engine guards, whatever name you want to call them for this bike, you'll realize that because of the massive skid plate, which is a great thing, they're very hard to come by. If you have the regular Norden 901, which has a smaller skid plate, you can find several different options. And some of them will fit on the Expedition with varying rates of success. With that being said, this lower part of the body, frame, motorcycle apparatus, not really a fairing, is about $500 per side, per panel, I should say, to replace. So I want to protect it. I don't want a lot of weight, but I do want to protect it because I will take this off-road. I have taken it off-road. It has taken a dirt nap or two, as you can see from some of the skids on the skid plate, bash plate, whatever you prefer. So, yeah. So we need a solution, and I think I came up with that solution. The solution that I came up with were these CrossPro engine guards or crash bars. These are ultra lightweight aluminum or aluminium, depending where you're from. And they mount just below the headlight, the cross piece, and then into the upper tank bracket for the lower gas tank on that model of bike. I got these from Triple Clamp Moto. I'll put a link in the description of the video. They have multiple colors. Some of them are special orders, so your turnaround time may vary. Comes with everything you need for the install, nice quality bolts, powder-coated engine guards, and the bracket which fits up under or behind under the headlight assembly for the bike. Again, they said they are ultra light. They are aluminum or aluminium, so they may be one-time use, but they're going to protect that plastic, that frame, that apparatus, and that's what I'm kind of going for. Our first thing to install is this bracket, which acts as the top mounting point for the corresponding left and right sides of the engine guards. And the two holes, this hole here, that hole there, mount behind the headlight on the corresponding Torx head bolt screw that's sitting right there that holds the kind of part of the frame stanchion together. So they kind of loop under and ends up hanging out right below the headlight. That's where you mount the crash bars. So we're going to do that part first. Filming and wrenching is never fun, but as you can see, you do have room to get a small ratchet and socket in there. All right, it's a few minutes, hours since the last check-in. And you'll notice that my bracket's not on and the bolt is still out. And that's because, and it's worth noting, and that's why I'm recording this part, that the stanchion, the bracket, the frame, jumps up a little bit, and so you're out of alignment, and I discovered this as I was trying to put the new bolt in. So I'm working through that. But be aware, if you're installing this, when you take out that bolt, it will probably come out of alignment, and then you get to deal with that as well as installing new parts. All right, so it's been a few hours later. A lot of working words used, if you don't know what those are. Yeah, working words are what you say when you're doing a motorcycle project or any other kind of project, at least for me. You'll notice that if you look over here, we've got a bracket connected. If we go over here, we've got the other side of that bracket connected. And if we come under here, we have the bottom part of that bracket connected because it's all one piece. In all seriousness, though, that first part was very taxing, very trying, very difficult. What I found, and I'm going to tell you this because hopefully it helps someone else, is that when you take out your first bolt, your first stock bolt, to try to mount one side of that bracket. That bracket's not heavy, but it's got some weight to it, and it pulls down, and so it wants to put the angle, the degree at which you're trying to put that new bolt in, at an angle where you're not going to be able to hit the hole. I'll let you make whatever joke about that you want to make, but what I found is that I had to compensate for the weight on the opposite side. So I took a piece of electrical tape or gaffer tape, whatever you want to use, and I hung that piece up close to where it was going to go. That took the weight off, made it more square, I guess you would say, for the bracket itself, because it has to fit on two opposite sides of the center spine of the bike. And when I did that, it went a lot quicker. It still wasn't any fun. I don't wish on anybody. If you have smaller hands, you're going to be in really good shape. There's enough room to work, but only just in many cases not. So I'm going to move on to installing the bars, and I'll come back to you and show you what that looks like. All right, so I'm on the left side of the bike, and the next thing we're going to take out is this bolt that holds the upper section of the fuel tank for the Norden 901. I've got it loose already. We're going to pull it out. We're going to leave that bushing in there because we will reuse that. We will use new hardware otherwise. So that's the next step. More to come. All right. So got the left side on. It actually looks really good. It's very light, as I said, but it's very high quality. Its powder coat is very nice. Once you put it there on that tank bracket mount, you'll see that it comes up and attaches to one of these eyelets that hangs down. You can kind of see the underneath there. That part was entirely too easy. Now I'm questioning things. Unrelated to this install, but this is the Hepco and Becker headlight and fog light guard. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's effective. So there's that. All right, so you can see we have both of our center pieces mounted. Now the last thing to do as far as the bar mounting is to install these two little join pieces right here. The two bars go together, lay on top of one another, and then these two bolts go through those, and that's what keeps them fully together. They're not quite lined up. This could be a little bit of fun, but we'll get through it. You can see these are nice looking crash bars. Again, you can't say it enough. They are light. If you're looking at doing an Outback Motortech test on these, they are going to fail horribly, but they look good, and hopefully they'll work for at least one crash or to get you out of the big one. It goes without saying there are a couple of things. Number one, I'm using Loctite on all of these, as should you when you're installing things on your bike. It also goes without saying that even though the instructions, which are admittedly incredibly poor, don't tell you to, as you're installing these, leave them loose. It's not all square, so it needs to be fitted up, and then go back around and tighten once the install is complete. I've started to do a little bit of that, but I need to put these final two in. Then there are some bumpers, some things that go on the sides of these bars. We're going to decide where to put those, and that'll about wrap it up. So we'll check in a little bit later and give you kind of a final look. All right, so here we have the CrossPro engine guards, crash bars, whatever you want to call them, installed. There are those bumpers or whatever they want you to install. They're not going to last if you drop it, but you know, whatever. It came with it. Put it on. Walk around here. You can see we have it connected up here. Over here, same thing. And connected over here on this main mounting point down there. So they look really good. They're super light on the bike, which is what I was going for. All right, let's wrap it up. All right, so all said and done, when you're complete, we put the sharp object away. You're going to end up with having two previously used tank mount bolts and two bolts that are on those mounts behind the headlight that were such a pain in the butt to get done. From triple clamp with the CrossPro stuff, I have a nut that goes nowhere and another long bolts. This Allen key was from something else. Again, like I said, I can't stress it enough. There's multiple places you can buy these. They're all over eBay, coming from numerous different European places. If I was in Europe, I'd have absolutely no trouble buying them, and I know people have. I chose to order mine from Triple Clamp. I believe they're out of Ontario, and the shipping was absolutely spot on. I think I had it in less than a week. So, and I'm in Indiana, so in the Midwest, so not terribly far, but going through customs and all the other bull crap that goes on. So, all right, well, that's it for tonight. The Norden's gonna go to bed, so am I. And if you notice, the windshield's off because some other projects being done on this bike, getting ready for a bit of a road trip this year, a little bit of off-road. Use the bike for what it was made for. All right, guys. Well, if you stuck around this long, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you appreciate what I'm doing, please give it a like. If you appreciate it even more, go ahead and subscribe. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'm not going to ask you for money. But if you're into OnlyFans, never mind. I don't have one of those. You don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. But anyway, thanks again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good night. We'll see you in the next one.